Hi, my name is Joanna Scamitzi. I'm a biology teacher here in North Carolina, and I'm really loving seeing all of the videos that teachers are making to share how they're teaching and doing remote learning right now. I teach for North Carolina virtual public schools right now, so I've been teaching online and making videos and sharing virtual tools for a long time. And one piece that I just wanted to kind of chat with everyone about is how you're thinking about copyright during this time. And so, one thing to know is that when you create a video, if you use anything in your video, whether it's a picture or a video or a text, maybe you're reading aloud to your students or any part of something that's already been recorded. Anytime you share anything, you do need to, of course, give attribution, but also consider the copyright laws and rules and terms of use surrounding that piece of work. So in the classroom, we're pretty used to fair use, which you might be really familiar with, or you might not. It's actually a set of recommendations explaining how educators might have the rights to use a copyrighted work in their classroom, but that becomes very different on the digital space, especially if the video that you're recording is going to be widely released, especially via something like YouTube. It's a little bit different if you're locking it down behind a student login required platform like Canvas or Google Sites, Google Classroom, where students have to log in, so you're protecting it. But if you're creating a video or sharing anything virtually that doesn't require a student login, you especially have to be really careful. So one example is for a while now, NASA has been having astronauts read books aloud from space, which is really cool, but it might not take into account the copyright of those, the authors who created those. And so right now, we're in this great position where we can film ourselves teaching and send it to our students. But if we're sending it to our students and we're perhaps reading aloud a storybook, we actually don't have the rights to do that. You will see that Penguin Random House just recently okayed online story time for read aloud videos. So if you want to create a read aloud story time to your students, they're allowing that with any of their books, but they do actually have rules for it. So you will need to make sure that you follow their rules. For example, if you're going to read aloud one of their books, so first you want to know, like, well, who owns the copyright to this book? Is it one of Penguin Random House's? Is it another publisher, and are they allowing free read alouds? But you'll notice for Penguin Random House that you do have to designate your YouTube video as unlisted, not public. And then if you do that, you actually also have to report. You need to email to let them know that what your name is, what the book is. So everyone has to notify Penguin Random House that they have chosen to post or stream a storytime or read aloud video. And this is because they're giving temporary permission for educators, but that won't be permanent. So please make sure that you're following copyright rules so that you, your district, the state don't end up doing copyright infringements. Houston Independent School District actually had to pay millions of dollars in copyright infringement from teachers who were copying and removing the copyrights off of things. So one way that you can actually really help protect yourself is by using what we call open education resources. And open education resources are instructional materials that the copyright holder has given users the right to retain, reuse, revise, remix, redistribute the content. And here's a cool thing: when you create content, whether it's a lesson plan or an assignment or a video like this video, you actually get to choose how you want to license your video. And so you can license your video um, by giving it what we call a Creative Commons license. And if you don't know about Creative Commons license, NCDPI has a whole page called Go Open NC, and I'll show you the platform for Go Open NC in just a minute. But they have a whole page about how to support North Carolina educators in using these open educational resources. Keep in mind, just because you can freely access it on the internet by Google, so like Teachers Pay Teachers, or National Geographic doesn't mean that it's actually openly licensed. You'll need to look at the terms of use. So you can see here some directions on, well, how do I know if an instructional material is openly licensed? So anytime you're thinking about sharing something digitally with your students, even if it's behind that student login platform like on Canvas, you really want to be careful about the copyright rules. And you can learn more about giving your own work a Creative Commons license on the Creative Commons website. So anything that you make, you do actually get to give the terms of use and give the copyright. Anytime a work is created, it's automatically copyrighted. So anything that you create that's original work, you get to own the copyright too. And so what we're really hoping to see teachers do is use this platform that North Carolina Department of Public Instruction has partnered with a group called OER Commons to build a North Carolina specific platform where you can share your openly licensed materials, where you can find openly licensed materials. So you'll see that if you click on Go Open NC Toolkit, it will take you back to the page that I was just showing you with all of these questions about, well, what are OER? And you can also watch a few videos on what is Creative Commons licensing, what is this platform itself, how do I contribute to the community? But we're really looking forward to seeing teachers during this remote learning time sharing their materials, but also making sure that they give themselves the copyright license, especially if you're willing to share it openly with a Creative Commons license, but also that you follow copyright rules so that there's no copyright infringement that might result in you, your district, or the state being fined. So thanks very much for letting me chat a little bit about copyright and how to openly share materials across North Carolina.